What's going on, guys? It's Cody. I wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about shooting in NBA 2K21 and what it's going to look like in the future. If you follow Mike Wang, you follow 2K TV, and probably Agent as well, you've seen a video circulating on Twitter with Mike and Agent talking about perfect releases, full whites, full bars, and what it looks like now and what it could look like in 2K21. So in this video, I'm just going to talk about my thoughts and what I think could work and really should be implemented into NBA 2K21. So first things first, as you can see on the screen, I have a graph. It's quite a bit of information. I'll try to simplify it as much as possible. Talking about an average jump shot in 2K20 and the make percentages associated with every shot at different timings across the board. So first, an average jump shot in 2K20 takes about it's about 625 to 675 milliseconds for a perfect release. That's 50 milliseconds wide, and then as you can see, it goes out. Each section's about 50 milliseconds for the slightlies, and then the earlies or lates, and then the very lates or very earlies. Now this is a rough estimate. I talked with my guys at 2K Lab, and this is fairly close to what they've tracked on jump shots in 2K20. So again, this is just an example to use for shooting in 2K as it currently stands. So like I said, if you have a perfect release in NBA 2K right now, it's about a 50 millisecond window, but if you full bar it, it doesn't always turn green. The computer decides through RNG, a random number generator, whether or not the shot will go green, whether it'll be a full bar, or whether it will just miss. And it's fairly random right now. So my first thought is that has to change. I think in both the competitive and the casual environments, I think if you have a perfectly timed release, the ball should green no matter what when you are wide open. So that's what you see here. I say it's 100% make percentage with a perfectly timed release in that 50 millisecond window. And this is for about a 75 shooter. So we'll say it's a 75 rated shooter, all right? And there's a 50 millisecond window that you can green. Now, in 2K21, let's say you have an 85 or a 95 rated shooter. Maybe that window for a perfect release gets wider because your rating is better. You have a bigger chance to green. So maybe it's 60 milliseconds. Maybe it's 70 milliseconds. I don't know. That would have to be something 2K works on and tweaks to find the right amount of time. But I think that's how it should work. The better the rating, the bigger the window. If you hit the green, it goes green when you're wide open, no matter what. Okay, and then when your rating is lower, so maybe you only have a 25 rating, and maybe that shrinks it down to a 10 millisecond window. So you have to make it perfect for the shot to go green. So that could be on a center or a slasher or whatever it is. There's still a chance to green, but it is really minuscule. Okay? If you're still with me here, we'll move on to the outer sections of this jump shot graph. So you have the slightly early and the slightly late. That's 50 milliseconds on both sides of the green window, and your make percentage drops. Now, let's say you hit it at 626, so you're right outside of the jump shot perfect window. Maybe that's slightly early. You have a 70% chance of that ball still going in and still greening. All right, and maybe it's the same thing at 676. It's still a 70% chance of the ball greening or going in. But it doesn't always have to. You should be penalized, and as you get further away from the perfect window, your percentage goes down. So at 575, you have a 30% make percentage, and then with the earlies and the lates, you're even further out, another 50 milliseconds outside of the perfect window, and maybe that's between a 10 to 30% make percentage. right? So it really shows who the best shooters are. There's no random number generator. And even when you get to the very late or the very early, I put 5% or less make percentage here, but for competitive, I think it should be a 0 make percentage. If you're that far away from your perfect window, the ball should never go in. I'm not sure if 2K would do that, but I think that would be best for competitive play. So really, if you hit the 100% make percentage window, the ball greens no matter what. Okay. Next, if we move down, I have a couple notes here. I won't go too into detail because there's a lot that goes into this idea, but a couple things to note. First is the higher rating is a wider perfect release window. That's what I just explained. Let me know down in the comments if you have questions. I'll respond and try to explain that as best as I can. And then here we go. This is where the contest system comes into play. In 2K20, they changed the contest system to allow for specific percentages. Okay, so what I would suggest is the contest percentage reduces the make percentage on a jump shot. So in this example, I said, let's say you had a slightly early release. So you have a 600 millisecond release. So if we look at the graph, you'd fit in right about in the middle. Okay, and I said that's a 50% chance of the ball going in the basket, right? Because here it's 30 to 70% chance, and we're right in the middle of that timing window. Okay, and let's say your defender contested you with a 25% contest. Got it? Now we are at the 50% make percentage, then you subtract the contest percentage, okay? So you have a 25% chance of the ball going in the basket. Does that make sense? I just think right now it feels super random with the contest percentage and the timing. You'll see people shoot earlies with 44% contest and the ball still goes in sometime. I think it needs to be tied to your contest percentage with how well you released the shot, and that'll determine if the shot goes in or not. So even if you have a perfectly released shot, so let's say you release it perfectly at 650 right in the middle of that jump shot timing, but you're 100% contested, that means there's no chance of the ball going in. If it's 100% smothered, even if you green it or you have that perfect release, the ball should never have a chance of going in. I think that's the way 2K should work moving forward, and that's my suggestions for jump shots in the future of 2K. So let me know what you guys think. Does this make sense? Are you on board with my suggestions? I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. I'd be happy to answer questions, and would love to hear what the community thinks about jump shots, if it's perfect now in 2K20, or what other improvements you think we could see in 2K21. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for a lot more content coming soon for 2K21. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.